So in this video, I just want to talk about how I beat my social media addiction and just a few things that I came to realize about why social media is super addictive. And just doing this one thing is gonna totally change your perspective on social media. So back in December 2023, I quit social media for 30 days, 3-0. And let's just say it was quite the experience. Let's just say I learned a lot. I was super productive. I was getting a lot of good sleep, all the good stuff. And if you're interested, check out that video. So after those 30 days, I obviously came back to social media, and for me, it didn't make sense to just completely delete all my social media accounts because I have a business that I'm working on, and social media is just another place where you can advertise your business. So I deleted the apps off my phone, and when the 30 days was up, I came back on social media. I re-uploaded the apps on my phone and my tablet. Of course, the cool thing about doing detoxes and getting away from social media is they kind of like just retrain your brain to get comfortable with functioning without you constantly checking your social media. It's kind of like just a quick fix on killing those little bad habits that we normally have when it comes to social media, where like we could be just bored and then you just pick up your phone and then you're doom scrolling for like 2 hours. But yeah, so it wasn't a problem when I came back on social media, right? I would post and I was using it with intention. The problem started happening when I took a trip to Arizona earlier. I think that was back like in February. And then I also took another trip to Washington State, and that really is where I started having social media addiction problems. I relapsed, man. The one thing that I noticed that was like an issue for me is, you know, when you go on trips and I'm doing my photography, I'm doing my nature photography, or I'm just getting into my creative bag, of course, you're given a reason to post and a reason to be more engaging, right? Because usually when you post something, you're just not gonna post and dip. You know, you're gonna be like, hey, let me keep on checking my socials to make sure I'm responding to people who are hitting me up, and I'm just not like leaving people hanging. The thing about social media is it's easy once you get into a flow where you're not posting anything. It's easy to manage your social media when you're not posting because there's no reason for you to be on there, so you're just not gonna be on social media. So once I started posting and I was back on it, when I came back from my little trips, I just got hooked again. You know, I just got stuck on there because now I'm like, the dopamine hits was hitting and I was hooked on it again. The memes, I'm sorry, man, the memes got me, man. And I don't think a lot of people talk about this. I think when you come back from like a vacation or a break and you go back into your mundane daily routine, you're kind of missing some of those highlights. So you're looking at the old pictures, you're like, oh, let me post this. You post them on Instagram. It gets bad because I think for me personally, like when I got back to my job, it's like you're back at work and you're just like, man, this is boring. I don't want to be here. Or you have a hard day at work. Like I know for me, sometimes I would have like a challenging day at work, and I found myself slowly falling into those bad habits where I'm like, I'm scrolling, watching funny reels and the memes and stuff like that, just to kind of like, cheer you up a little bit. So that kind of like put me back to square one before I had quit social media for 30 days. So I think the benefits from taking social media breaks is that reset. But if you're back on social media, it's so addictive that it hooks you back in. So then I just went ahead and then said, okay, this is getting out of hand, and then deleted all the social media apps on my phone. I did not delete my social media accounts, like I said, because I'm trying to still kind of maintain those accounts for business. And I immediately noticed within 24 hours, I noticed a shift in the way I was acting, or let's say my impulses, right? Like reaching for the phone. I noticed that all went away, and that led me to the conclusion, like the real reason why we're all social media addicts is not because of the social media platforms themselves being addictive, which they are, but it's because of this. It's because of your phone. Social media addiction is a matter of convenience. The reason why we're not all addicted to crack is because crack cocaine, you have to put in effort to attain that crack cocaine, right? And also the reason why where you realize like there's a lot of, spicy content addiction in 2024 compared to back in the days, because I don't want to age myself, but back when I was growing up, you couldn't just watch any type of content. Like you had to go to like an adult spicy content store, and you had to wear these guys just to go over there just to get a tape. So of course the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. That's the one huge thing I noticed, and that's the reason why we're all addicted to social media, because everything is on the phone. Now, let me make my case here, okay? Let me tell you about my experience. There's a huge difference from when you're using Instagram on your laptop, which for the majority of the days now, because I do still have my Instagram on my tablet, which I use from time to time, and I still, of course, I use Instagram on my laptop. It's just way more inconveniencing to use Instagram on your laptop, and there's also like psychologically something something that made me feel like it was more like a job, like I'm checking an email, right? And it's a different experience when you're using Instagram on a laptop compared to if you're using it on your phone or your tablet, right? The tablet, it's also like an uncomfortable feeling to try to use your social media on a tablet, and you can only use it for so long. Your hands are gonna get tired. But the phone is just way more convenient. You got your phone, you know, you can put it in your pocket. It's just right there, you know. Yeah, phone is just way more convenient. So the addiction itself lies in convenience and easy access. That's really all it boils down to. The reality is that back in my high school days in 2005, 2006, we had social media. A lot of people forget that social media has been around for a while, you know. I'm talking about MySpace days, you know. Fun fact, I actually have never had a MySpace a day in my life. But of course, I was king on Facebook. Facebook was my Instagram. The reason why it wasn't a thing is, like I said, the user experience, it lived very much on your computer or your desktop or your laptop. So you can only sit so much in front of a computer before you're like, all right, let me do something else. Let me go for a walk. Let me straighten my back. You know what I mean? I think the fact that it's easy for us to access stuff on our phones is really where the problem truly lies. I'll put out a few key takeaways. So if you're in a situation where you really need social media, like me, where, like I said, I'm trying to grow a business and social media is another avenue to where I can promote my stuff. Before you kind of like delete your social media, I would say consider just deleting social media off of your phone and just use social media on your computer, like your laptop or something like that, and try that out. And if that doesn't work, then you can definitely pull the trigger and completely delete your social media and nuke it. So a few stats here. So the average consumption of social media usage in the United States in 2024 is 2 hours and 30 minutes a day. Its amount of active users on social media is about 5.04 billion active users on social media. So it's a lot of people using up a lot of their time. In conclusion, before you completely go ahead and nuke your social media and completely delete your social media digital print off of the interwebs, which when you really think about it might be a very smart move. Before you do that, delete all the apps off of your phone. It's the only way to survive. But anyway, in conclusion, that's kind of like my takeaway and my 2 cents on the whole social media thing and what I learned from doing the social media detox and deleting social media off my phone and just using social media on the laptop. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. More to come.